Do you know what the 8 people inside Noah's Ark actually saw with their own eyes? Most people remember them simply as the family that survived. But very few realize that the moment God shut the door of the ark, what they witnessed from inside was one of the most brutal days in human history. Genesis records it clearly. That day, it wasn't Noah who closed the door. It was the Lord himself who shut it behind them. Inside the ark were 8 people and a small number of chosen lives. Outside was the entire world they had ever known. At first, the ground outside was still dry. Perhaps they could still hear laughter in the distance, the sounds of animals, the rhythm of ordinary life. But they all knew one thing. Once that door was closed, there was no going back to check one last time. Then the first thunder cracked across the horizon. Rain began to strike the wooden walls, soft at first, then heavier, closer, relentless. The ground started to disappear beneath rising water. The ark lifted, rocked violently in the waves. Animals panicked and cried out. Children clutched tightly to their parents' clothes. More unbearable than the storm were the sounds. People screaming for help, hands pounding against the ark, bodies struggling in the water, trying to reach it. And those inside understood something terrifying. They were not the ones who closed the door, and they were not the ones who could open it. In that moment, they realized they were not better than anyone else. They had been forced into the role of witnesses to an entire age being dismantled by water, and witnesses that what God chose to preserve was only this small, fragile vessel. Later, the floodwaters slowly receded. The ark came to rest on a desolate mountain. No cities, no lights, only silence and emptiness left behind by the retreating waters. When Noah built an altar and offered a sacrifice, it wasn't a victory celebration. It was a survivor's confession. If not for God's mercy, they would have been no different from those who perished in the flood. So what this story truly tells us is this: what God saved you from was not just a disaster. He was pulling you out of an old way of living, giving you a chance to live differently in a new world. If you're no longer satisfied with merely surviving, but are willing to be among the few God chooses to rewrite the story, write in the comments, "Lord, use me to write the next chapter," and share this video with someone who is struggling right now. Let them know, maybe they haven't been abandoned. Maybe they've been placed inside the ark for a season, being prepared to step into an entirely new world.